found out that these people actually put together a prayer circle for me to have a miscarriage when I was pregnant with my baby. When I tell you these people are evil.
Can't no part, all you know is kick back, run up on me, back, get back, 911. Somebody's son did die, we need police on dispatch. You be with me, nigga, why is you mad? Come and get your bag, everything's on, I'll be.
Alright, y'all, so this came across my TikTok as a story time, and I figured why not come watch it with y'all. So we finna tap in. This girl was forced to apologize in front of her church because she got pregnant. Let's see what's going on, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, tap into the channels y'all see popping up, and let's listen to this story.
Vince, I want to tell you guys a story time about how I was forced to apologize for being pregnant in front of an entire church, subsequently kicked out, and told if I came back it would be criminal trespassing. Year was circa 2009. I was 18 years old, fresh out of school, about to start college, chasing behind some little boy. I say church very loosely because it was really a cult, but he had been there for like 9 years, so he was good and indoctrinated at the time. It was summertime before we started college together, and his family was always at church, so of course I was at church too. I joined the church and everything, and one of the requirements to join the church is you have to do an interview with the pastor and the reverend. The reverend was the pastor's wife, and they ask you if you're a virgin, and I told them straight up, no baby, I am not. They asked me if I planned on being celibate, and I was like, not really. And let me tell y'all, from that point forward, they did not like my black ass because they had the youth unlocked. Everybody was celibate. Everybody had abstinence rings. They did not want my harlot ass in that church, but there I came. Their crowning achievement was the young man that I followed up in there. You hear me? He was a virgin at 18 years. They had had him for 9 years. They were their golden child. They did not want me there, but there I was.
This is not where I was expecting this to go at all. At all. So she expected to go to a church and tell them she's not going to be celibate. And then she got one of the most purest boys pregnant. She came in there on time. Supposed to be getting the word. What you in there doing? What she about to say?
It was. Anyway, I snatched that young man's virginity up the second we got to school, and I got pregnant the exact man's virginity up the second I was.
They didn't want to let y'all just go. Shorty, what? Hold on. What? Oh my goodness, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I've heard of interviews to join a church, bro. I've heard of that before. It's just, it's kind of like a way for them to like show face, even though you probably never hear from them for real again, like the pastor and his wife or whatever. It's like for them to meet, at least say they met everybody from the church. You know what I'm saying? And make you feel like you have some type of relationship with them, I guess. I mean, in the day, church is a business too. They want you to keep coming back, you know, and there's things put in place for that. I mean, just because it's church, don't think, I mean, every church is like this. Don't think, come on. Like, let's not do, you know what I'm saying? Like, every church is built off something, you know? But I've heard of that before, and I think that's what it's used for. But then you go in there and tell them, you plan on joining the church. Yeah, and then if somebody's expecting, if you're joining the church, that means you're ready to, I would guess you would say convert and confess your life to, you know what I'm saying? And follow what the Bible and everything says. So it's like, you tell them off rip. You don't even plan to try. You telling them you not. What do you expect to happen? How do you expect them to look at you? Like, obviously like a person, but you got to think of where you at. Like, you around a whole bunch of people who not doing this, but you trying to join them, but you don't want to do, you don't want to do one of the main things they do. Then you come in there and then you get the dude, you get pregnant by the dude. Like, you come in there on time, and like, it is like, are we see? I know a lot of people not gonna see that point of view, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, I snatched that young man's virginity up the second we got to school, and I got pregnant the exact same day. Now, I took a plan B, but she must have ate it because a few weeks later, baby, positive pregnancy test. We were here. We ended up telling his mother, who was also very indoctrinated with the church at the time. She ends up telling,
she must have ate it. Is crazy. Oh no.
The pastor. So one day after service, A few weeks into my pregnancy, they have everybody stay except for the kids. The kids get to go to the youth ministry. They have everybody else stay. Now, for additional context, y'all have to understand, these people did not like me because I came in asking way too many questions. Like, for one, why are y'all collecting tithes 3 times per service when it's the same group of people in there? Or about how y'all collected $1 million for a new church because y'all been in a storefront plaza for the last few years. You finally get the money up and then the deal doesn't go through and all the money is gone and people have to re-raise the money. I was like, that feels like embezzlement. Again, they did not like me. Okay, so boom, this is after service, the kids have gone away, and they have me and homeboy stand up, and basically he tells the entire church, we have a sinner amongst us. He goes on to tell the church that
I ain't gonna lie. Now that is crazy. We have a sinner amongst us is crazy.
Highest level of sin by having premarital sex and conceiving a child, and he wants me to apologize to him, the church, and God before everybody. Homeboy that had been to the church, he apologized. I looked at them people like they were fucking crazy for like a solid 5 minutes, because if you think I'm apologizing for creating life, apologizing to y'all, you got me fucked up. Sin scale while he was standing up there in his cheap polyester blend suit, Leviticus 19:19, or when his daughter was in his office giving head to the youth ministers, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, when they finally let me up out that bitch, I ran to the side of the church and I called my mother. My mother was about 45 minutes away. She got to that bitch in 20 minutes. Now, what I didn't say is while they were up there shaming me and Buddy for having a baby, they had a deacon that had 2 women pregnant at the exact same time, and they knew it when it happened, but coincidentally, he didn't get called out in the same fashion. I wonder why. Anyway,
that's just being a kid though. That's just being a kid. When you a kid, all your stuff gonna be on Front Street. All the grown-ups gonna have a chance to hide your stuff and judge your stuff in public. You feel me? That's just being a kid at the same time.
They're
though.
ready to knock shit down, but he refused to come out of the office. He literally had like his deacons creating a barrier to his office, but we was up there nutting up. I was about to call the news. It was about to be a whole situation, but we decided to just let it go because I was 18, pregnant. I had a lot going on already, but baby, it was finna be some problems. A few days later, I got a letter that said if I came up there, it would be criminal trespassing and I would no longer allowed to come because I would not follow the Lord's counsel. Anyway, because God don't play about me, their church started going downhill real fast. People started leaving left and right after this incident. You hear me? They tried to get my baby daddy to renounce the child and say that it wasn't his or what have you. He refused. They kicked him out too. At one point, they wanted me to have the child so that they could adopt my kid out to some people in the church.
See, now all this is crazy. All this extra stuff is crazy. We have a sinner amongst us is absolutely ridiculous. I ain't gonna lie, it's absolutely ridiculous.
That were infertile or some bullshit. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I had a very strong sense of self and I was very comfortable with my relationship with God. So none of that really impacted me like that to this day. But my mother still gets pissed off. She wants to catch a fade with that man to this day. She cannot stand him. They are actually still open. They actually finally did get a location. I will name drop if y'all want to know. I have so many more stories about that church. And honestly, that's not even the only church I've ever been kicked out of and told not to come back. So if y'all want to hear those stories.
See, at some point you got to think. At some point you got to do some thinking though. Why at all things get kicked out of? You get kicked out of a church. I ain't gonna lie. Me personally, I've never got kicked out of church ever in my life. But at the same time, I never had a meeting. I don't know. Who knows what she be? I never had a meeting either. I think they might do. I don't know. I've never been in a meeting. So I don't know. At some point, you gotta start looking in the mirror or something. I don't know. You ain't always just getting picked on at church.
Update to the story about the pastor who made me stand up before the entire church and apologize for being pregnant. And yes, I will be dropping names in this video. But first, if we're going to do a call out video, we're going to do it the right way. And we're going to make sure your anger is directed at the right place and the right people. First order of action, if you guys decide to write a review, y'all know Google will just simply take them down. So what I want you to do is, in your reviews, I want you to call the members of the church away. I want you to tell them that they are loved away from that church. I want you to tell them that they don't need that pastor to be happy. I want you to speak life into them because those are the people that's going to read those reviews. Second order of action, I want you to go to the Secretary of State's website once you find out the name of who they are.
She's trying to get them gone.
Under the charity division. We want them funds investigated, y'all. This is how you make real change. We go after them pockets. These reviews are not going to stick. Google's going to take them out. But stuff like this someone's going to follow up if enough people make noise. And last order of action, if you decide to comment on any of their social medias, I want you to be positive. I want you to call the members in. Again, speak love, light, and everything into the members so that they don't feel the need to stay beside that pastor and his wife. All right, now let's get into the story. So since I posted that video yesterday, several former members of the church have come forward and they have said they've been waiting to speak their turn. So they look forward to stitching this current video and telling their story as well. So this isn't even the end, y'all. The tea is going to keep getting hot. Now, stuff that I experienced personally, I'm just going to say, but anything that anyone else told me, I'm going to say allegedly, because I'm telling y'all, they're going to send me a cease and desist. They're coming for my ass when I post this. Okay, so the name of this church is Family Life Baptist Church. They are located in Fayetteville, Georgia. This is their group. They're located in Fayetteville Life Baptist Church.
Is this Medea? They got Medea at their church?
They are located in Fayetteville, Georgia. This is their Google page.
Tyler made an appearance?
I need y'all to make sure y'all are targeting the right place because there are multiple Family Life churches out there. The pastor's name is Alfred Lands and the wife's name is Rosemary Lands. I'm going to get into some of my own experiences because they were relatively mild in comparison to other things people have told me. So I told you guys about how I questioned why they had a new building fund. Well, the reason I questioned that is there used to be a big picture where you could see the goal and how much money everyone had made, and every time a deal fell through with the real estate, they just started it over. So I remember asking that question out in the office. They pulled me into the office and admonished me for questioning where the money went. Another time I was walking.
Oh yeah, they doing something strange over there. They doing something strange over there.
The church, and I guess the pastor wasn't too far behind me because a deacon came running up behind me to open the door for the pastor. They then scolded me for not opening the door for him, and I was just like, he's a man. And they were like, a man of God that's not allowed to touch doors. Oh. Now, remember my mother-in-law, who was fully indoctrinated at the time, she wasn't even allowed to celebrate her birthday because her birthday was on the same day as the pastor's. They did not allow her to celebrate her birthday because she had to set up his birthday every year. For 9 years, this woman did not celebrate her birthday, and they did not let her.
Yeah, well, yeah. What they running over? I ain't gonna lie. That sound like some Get Out. You feel me? That sound like some Get Out type. I ain't gonna lie. She can't celebrate her birthday because past her birthday. Man, boy.
If you left the church, you were immediately excommunicated. The other members were not allowed to talk to you. And members of the church were not allowed to date and or get married unless they got permission from the pastor and the reverend. I need y'all to keep in mind while I'm telling this story, these people were in a cult. And if you look up what a cult is, they were literally being brainwashed. What I experienced was not unique. Shame was a very
I do know some people, though, before they get married, they do go, talk to the pastor or whatever the case may be.
At one point, the pastor forced this young man to come
It is a little
out
extreme if you ask me.
And forced his mother to legally change his name because he felt like his mother gave him too feminine of a name. Now we're going to move into the place where I have to start saying allegedly. Allegedly, a minister there molested several young girls, so much so that he had to be fired from his place of work, and the pastor and the reverend had to come up there and defend him and somehow get that put under the rug. Again, allegedly. Allegedly, any behavior that they viewed as demonic would absolutely lead to an exorcism, and an exorcism looked like you getting beat the shit out of, and that could be for anything from being gay to misbehaving in school. Allegedly, there were ministers that touched both boys and girls. Allegedly.
She's talking about an exorcism. She probably talking about when they pray over you. It's crazy seeing church from other people's view. I ain't gonna lie. Even though stuff like that does happen in church and everywhere in life, y'all. I feel like this is what we need to learn about church and stuff too. I feel like churches shouldn't define how you feel about God. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're all earthly beings. We're all out here. We're gonna make decisions, gang. We're gonna make decisions, and you can't fault God for man's doings. You feel me? At the end of the day, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, but stuff like this do happen, though.
An exorcism looked like you getting beat the shit out of, and that could be for anything from being gay to misbehaving in school. Allegedly, there were ministers that touched both boys and girls. Allegedly, there was tons of embezzlement with the use of forged documents, fake bank statements, and tax documents, all with money that was siphoned directly from their members. Again, allegedly. Now, I know I'm saying allegedly to protect myself legally, but just know I would never bring these sort of claims forward if I did not have evidence. All that said,
does that statement not take back the allegedly though? Because like, yeah, you said allegedly, but now you also leading the witness.
Legally, but just know I would never bring these sort of claims forward if I did not have evidence. All that said, in the last video, I got a lot of questions about why I would even join a church under false pretenses if I didn't agree with them, and also what my current relationship is with the church and spirituality and all that. And I'll do a follow-up video for that, because like I said, this video is going to be stitched by multiple members of the church. They've already come forward and said that they have something to say, so I'm going to leave that space for them. So until next time, you guys, toodles. So it has been brought to my attention that the pastors at Family Life Missionary Baptist Church in Fayetteville, Georgia, are calling me a liar. They've said I've never been a member, and I ain't
gonna lie, you could tell she was a real tattletale in school. She ready to give out all type of tea.
Are calling me a liar.
Lipton,
They've
Green.
said I've never been a member, and I am making this entire story up. And they are saying this to anyone that calls up there. Now, Alfred and Rosemary, I don't know why you would take this route, considering you know that there's photographic evidence, but let's get into it. First of all, here's some screenshots from their website and their Google profile. This is what Alfred and Rosemary look like. Get a good look.
Alfred and Rosemary, huh? Okay.
Look at all the photos. All right, pause it if you need to. I'm gonna move on. Now, in this picture, we have Alfred and Rosemary again, but the young man standing next to them, who is that? None other than my baby father, later turned husband. Now, my baby father was active in that church, as he has been there for 9 years, so you know we have plenty of pictures. He played the sax and the drum at his church, and here's a picture of him graduating after high school.
The mohawk is crazy. Never in your life, especially as a young black man, should you ever have had this cut. You should have never had this. This should have never been on the top. And then you had it skin bald. He looked like the Spider-Man, the rock star Spider-Man in the multiverse. He bogus. He should have never had. This should have never been on top of his head.
Playing the sax. Look at the setting.
Ever.
Now you see him hugging a man that's his father, but look in the back. Is that not Alfred peeking his head over there? What about in this picture? Is that Alfred now? Perhaps. But let's keep going. Here's the baby.
Wait, she trying to say Alfred was looking at his...
Is that Alfred now? What about in this picture? Is that Alfred now?
Hold on, what?
Perhaps. But let's keep going. Here's the baby in question, with the baby father in question. There's some more pictures of my cute little family at the time, and for those of you that are curious, yes, he and I did eventually get married. We had 2 more kids. We have since divorced, but that is my homeboy. I love that man to death, and I will fight you about him, and he's the one who sent me most of these pictures. But don't you worry.
Said all the good stuff just to snitch on him.
Several former members who have even more evidence, way more evidence, have come forward. And guess what? Instead of just letting them stitch it, I'm going to post it on my page. I'm going to post it right here from my profile so that you can see it. Perhaps that will jog your memory, Alfred. I'm going to make sure every single life that you harmed gets platformed. I'm going to make sure everybody knows what you've done. And I want...
Peeps, she's saucing these videos a minute each. She's saucing it. She said, I'm going to make some money off Alfred, too.
I want you to tell Cersei I did it. So until next time, toodles. Before I go to bed, our first member has come forward with her video series.
I want to first affirm and confirm that Tia's experience. It's not a story. It's not something she imagined. It's something with 20 or 30 something eyewitnesses, including me. I was there. Because when the current event happened, my mind went back to Latia and Marcus's story. But let's be clear, they weren't the last people or the first people.
That is Dr. Mercedes Giles, and she was a member of Family Life for many, many years, including during the time this incident happened to me. She was present and saw it, as she said. That said, she's posted an 11-part series to give you guys a little bit more introspective into the people that ran that church and what their motivations could possibly have been, and it gives you far more insight than I could have ever given, because I was only there for a few months in comparison.
If y'all want me to react to Dr. Mercedes Giles, like this up, sub, spam it in the comments, and I'll do it. We'll react to hers part 2.
I just found out that these people actually put together a prayer circle for me to have a miscarriage when I was pregnant with my baby. When I tell you these people are evil. Anyway, more stories are coming out tomorrow from my ex-husband and my sister-in-law. I just have to edit them, but they are on their way. The rabbit hole goes so deep.
Can't no party, all you know is kick back, run up on me back, get back, 911. Somebody's son did die, we need police on dispatch.